Hello everyone, this is Krishna and welcome back to my channel. This is part 1 of e-commerce application with React.js, and if you have not watched part 0 of this series, you can go back to my channel and watch that so that you can have better idea of what the planned project is about. And the next thing is we are going to create this e-commerce application using TypeScript with React. Because why we are going with this TypeScript? Let us see the advantage of TypeScript. So the main advantage is that by using this TypeScript we can have the static type checking, which our JavaScript code does not provide, and it will add some other advantages as well, like other extra features. We will be seeing all those extra features in while writing our code for this e-commerce application. So the next main thing is whenever you are whenever you are working on any smaller project, then there is no need for creating a React application with TypeScript. But whenever you are going to create a mid-level or larger applications, you have to go with TypeScript because the type checking is one of the major thing. So another major thing here is interfaces. If you see here, this application is created by using TypeScript with React. So this is the app.tsx and this is login.tsx, and in this login.tsx I have created an interface iLogin, and whenever any user want to or any developer want to use this login component, then he has to provide each and everything according to the data type provided here. So if he has not provided this name here, so some other developer has used this login component and he has forgot to send this name, so he will directly get this error like property name is missing in this iLogin interface. So by using this we can get exactly what is happening and how we have to use that component directly. So if I place this again, you can see that particular error got resolved here. So if I add another thing here like name and password like this, and I'm going to use this password here, and whenever I want to use this login, it will tell that property password is missing in this type. So in this way we can get the intelligent support and static type checking etc. when during the compile time itself. So this is one of the major advantage of using this TypeScript in our React application. And the next thing is we are going to create the project. So for that I am going to folder, so here I am going to React new folder, React e-commerce. I am going to this folder and opening command prompt. Now I am going to create a TypeScript with React application by using this command npx create React app, and you have to provide your app name, e-commerce React. So the next thing is, this is the main important thing for creating a TypeScript template, TypeScript. So in the previous videos you may not see this template because I think this has been added in the newest version. So if you have watched any videos in YouTube regarding this creating TypeScript application with React, then you may not see this hyphen template here. If you are not using this template, then it will create JS files instead of TSX files. So JS is for JavaScript and TSX is for TypeScript with JavaScript. Whereas if you see in Angular, you will be having TS files. We will be having TS files as well here. We will see how to create that and all. So let us wait until it gets installed successfully. I think there are some naming conventions here. Yeah. So as I have given capital E here, it is not taking here. npx create react app. So if you see here, our project got successfully created. And if you see the yarn here, if you want to use yarn in your project, then you have to install some npm package for yarn. But in our e-commerce project, I am not going to use yarn. And coming to this folder, you can see the project folder got created. Now I will open this folder. React e-commerce and e-commerce React. So this is the project that got created here, and if you see in the source folder, you can have app.tsx because we are using TypeScript. Even though you are using TypeScript, the most of the code is the same as React.js JavaScript code, but the type syntax interfaces, the static type checking, that will be somewhat added extra code to your application. Now I am going to see some TS config where we will be having the TypeScript configurations here. And next coming to package.json, which will consist of all the packages what we are going to install in our application, like npm packages and all. And coming to this node modules folder, which will consist of all the third-party packages what we have installed, all will be present in this folder, and the names of those packages and the versions will be present here. You can see here, if you install any calendar package, it will be added here as a version like this. And next thing is public folder, where we will have index.html. So this is the one HTML page which you will find in the React applications. And next one is index.tsx. So whenever your application starts, then we will bootstrap our main component here. So if you replace this app with login or any other component name, then whenever your application loads, that particular component will be loaded like this. So these are all related to app.tsx and app.css like this. Now the next thing we are going to do is install some extensions. So these extensions will help you to write some better code and decrease the amount of code you write. So this is the first extension what I have installed in my project. So this is the Prettier code formatter. If you have already a developer who has experience, then you will be better knowing about this. So what it will do is like I will show this. If you open app.tsx and if I remove this, made some changes, it will automatically come here like this. So basically it will structure your code. As we are having some errors, it is not structuring our code. So once we resolve these errors, it will structure our code directly. And the next installation I am going to use is auto rename tag. So the first thing, so if you install this, it will automatically rename your tags what you are changing. I will install this. What it will do is like here if you want to change it as A, then it will automatically change it as A here, and if I change it as div, then it will change it as div like this. So this is one of the advantage by using this extension. And next one is ESLint. So this is also one of the popular linter. You can install this. So this is also one of the most important things we will be using in our real-time applications. So once I install this, the next thing is git lens. So this is used for checking the previous code. Like you have changed something, and if you want to see what are the changes the file had in the previously, so you can check it directly by using this git lens. I am installing this. You can see here, this is the initial code and you have changed it something like this. So it will, once you click on this, you will have the previous changes, and this is the new changes like this. So the next thing I am going to install is material icons. So we are going to install this material icon. So I am going to install this here. The advantage is like you can differentiate the folders directly by using these icons. And after this I am going to install simple React snippets. You can install this. So basically it will reduce our amount of code what we are writing. If you see here, for creating the functional component, you can directly write the command. So if you write imr and click on enter, then it will import React from React directly. For creating the component, you can see here these are the different things. You can play around with this. So these are the different installations we are going to use in our project. There are a lot of advantages for using this in our real-time applications. You will be knowing this all whenever you write the code in this React application. Now the next thing we are going to use is to resolve these issues. So the first thing you have to do is remove this JSX here. And next thing is you have to add files. Colon some array. In this array you have to import /src /index.tsx. If you see here, our errors got resolved successfully, and the next thing we are going to do is creating the folders required for our project. So this is one of the important thing. When you create a TypeScript application, you will be getting these issues, so you have to resolve this by including this. Yeah, now we are going to create the folders. So the first folder is the shared components. In this shared components, we will be writing all the components whichever we are going to create, like login or admin, products, categories, like that. So the next folder is in these components we are going to create these admins and login, products, categories. But in the shared components, we have to create like if you have a radio button or a drop down, we will be creating a separate component for this radio button and drop down, and we will be placing all these components in these shared components. Like if you have any table or back button, like this, you will be creating everything in these shared components, and you will be reusing these again and again in any components if you want. So this is the major advantage of React, the reusability part. So the next thing is constants. So if you want to write any static data in your application, like if you are using something like learn React here, or something like logo here, so you will be creating all these in these constants folders. From there we will be accessing that particular constant names in your application files. So these things we will be doing normally in our real-time applications. So that is the thing we are following in our application as well. And the next thing is I am going to create interfaces. So these are also one of the major things. These interfaces will be used for checking the types of props. Next thing is enums. So if you don't know how to create the enums, you can go back to my channel and watch the videos. I have explained that clearly how to create the enums. So if you are creating any if conditions, or if you are using switch cases, we can create an enums for particular variables, and we can use this in our component files directly. And next thing is APIs. For that I am going to use the infrastructure component, infrastructure folder. In this infrastructure folder, you are going to create all the API calls or API calls files. Next thing is images or assets, you can create like that. So in this images folder, we are going to create all the images files like that. Next thing is Redux. So this is also one of the major thing. So this Redux part will be covering in the following sessions, but initially we are going to concentrate mostly on state and props directly instead of going to complex Redux. So we will be going step by step. First we will create directly by using the React concepts like state and props, and after that we will be moving to Redux. We will be using context API as well. By using this e-commerce application, you can learn a lot. If you are a beginner, then you can learn various things in this project. And next thing is styles. So in this styles folder, you will be creating different files like global CSS and app CSS like that. If you want to use these styles everywhere in your component, then you can create a separate files and you can reuse that. Next thing is mock data. So in this mock data component, mock data folder, you will be creating different files which consist of some static data. For if you consider a product screen, you will be having different images and different text. So we will be creating a separate JSON file for the products in this mock data, and we will reuse that instead of calling from the API. Like in the real time, if you see any application, sometimes some API calls will gets blocked, or something. If something happens in the API, then our particular application will get stopped. So to avoid this, we will be using some mock data in our real-time applications. So the next thing is utils. So in these utils, you will be writing some functions, or we can say helper methods or helper files, which will consist of the commonly reusable functions or methods, which we will be reusing in many components. So the next thing is config. In this config folder, you will be creating various configurations like environment setups, like that. So the last thing is errors. So in this error folder, we will be creating different files. Like if you get any error, that particular file gets called, and particular component will be getting rendered. So this is the file structure we are going to follow. We will be creating various components and various config differently as our application proceeds. So this is the real-time application folder structure we are following in our project. So the next thing we are going to do is the sample file creation. Now here I am going to remove this, and I am going to create a sample login component. And this is login.tsx. I am going to create another file called login.les or css like that. Now in this login component, you can use React snippets as well, but this is the first application, so I am going to create directly constant login. So this is the functional component we are going to use. In our application, we will be mostly using the functional components because we can have different advantages while using the functional component. The main thing is reusability part. We can directly place that in everywhere if you want. And I am going to export this login by using default export. If you don't know about how to create a default export or normal export, you can go back to my channel and watch the videos, or I will give the description links. You can go back to my channel and watch them. And I am going to import React from React. Sometimes we will be getting some issues, so that is the reason I have imported this. I will comment this as of now. So once I return this, I am going to return some login component. So if you see here, you got some issue here, like React refers to UMD global. So this issue is related to TypeScript component or TypeScript with React. So that is the reason we have to import React from React. So once this is done, it will remove this error. Now we will go to app.tsx and we will import this login component from our components. So it will auto import this. So this is the normal React code with JavaScript, and we will include some TypeScript advantages into this React application. So let us see how to do that. First we will create interface iLogin with some username. So for variable declarations or properties, we will be using camel case convention. So this is also one of the most important things in the real-time application. You can see this is the camel case convention. So the first letter is small and the next subsequent letters will be capital. So you have to follow this in your real-time applications. So password is also string. I think there is some issue with this formatter. So once this is done, you have to send this username and password as parameters. Of type, and I am going to use login interface here. So once this is done, you can see here you will be getting some error like this, like some properties username and password is missing. So this is the major reason we have to use TypeScript, because we will be, so whenever any new developer comes and use your component, he will exactly knows what he has to do, what he has to send, and what type of parameters he has to send, like that. And next thing is username equal to so password equal to something. So I'm saving this. Yeah, you have to follow the case here. Once you are done, you will not get any issues, and we are going to run our application by using npm start. So until then, you can see here, if I change this as a number, you can see here you will be getting some issue like type number is not assignable to string, because we have strictly mentioned it as string type. So if you are sending it as a number type, then it will cause the issues. So in this way you can get everything about in the compile time itself instead of getting it runtime. So this is the advantage of this TypeScript, and let us see. So it will open our application in the browser. Let us wait until that. So in our next sessions we will be focusing mainly on the routing part and creating the nav bars, and how to create a login component by using forms and an admin component. So let us see all these in the next session. Yeah, you can see here we have got the login component from the application component directly. So in this way we can create a components in our application by using TypeScript with React.js. So what we have learned in this session is that how to create the TypeScript and why we have to use the TypeScript with React.js, and how to create the TypeScript application with React.js, and what are the different installations we require for our e-commerce application. So these installations will save our time for reducing the code what we are going to write. And next one is the folder structure we have created here. This folder structure is the real-time application folder structure. So this is one of the best I can think. And the other thing is we have created a logging component, and we have seen how to work with the interfaces and all that. So in the next session we will be creating some more interesting things like creating routing and navbars, login component and admin component, products component, etc. So this is the end of this tutorial, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos on React, Angular and Node.js. Thank you.